It was a cold winter evening. The air felt fresh, and the park was quiet, except for the sound of a small fountain. Nearby, tiny lights hung from the trees, making everything look magical. We had been walking and talking for a while before we sat on an old wooden bench. She was sitting beside me, smiling and laughing at something silly I had said. Her laugh made me feel happy, but my heart was beating so fast that I could barely focus. I tried to act normal, but inside, I was nervous. We had been friends for a long time. She was my closest friend, someone who knew me better than anyone else. But recently, I had started to see her differently. Her smile felt warmer, her laughter sweeter, and the way she looked at me made my heart flutter. I wanted to tell her how I felt, but I didn't know if she felt the same. As we sat there, I kept glancing at her. She noticed and looked back at me. Her cheeks turning pink, she smiled. And for a moment, everything felt quiet and calm. I realized then that I had to do something. I took a deep breath and slowly leaned closer to her. My hands were shaking a little, and I was scared she might move away, but she didn't. Instead, she leaned in too. Our lips met softly just for a second. It was gentle, warm, and felt like magic. My heart was racing. But in that moment, it felt like time had stopped. The cold air, the noises from the park, everything else disappeared. When we pulled back, I looked at her, unsure of what she would say, but she was smiling, her cheeks red from the cold or maybe from the kiss. That wasn't so bad, she said with a little laugh. Her voice was light, but I could tell she was as shy as I was. I laughed too, feeling a mix of relief and happiness. No, it wasn't, I said, still smiling. We stayed on that bench for a little while, longer, talking softly and enjoying the moment. When it was time to leave, she slipped her hand into mine as we walked out of the park together. That kiss wasn't just a moment .it was the start of something special. I knew I would always remember it, not because it was perfect, but because it was real. It was the day everything changed and a new chapter began for us.